The Colorado rain poured hard, but it wasn't the storm that flooded my fields. It was the Silver Pines HOA, led by Diana Powell, who thought they could ruin a retired four-star general's ranch and mock him. I'm General Robert Clayton, 62, with 40 years commanding 30,000 troops in 3 wars. My 5-acre Maple Grove Ranch was my new mission, a healing center for veterans with PTSD, built on hard work, purpose, and land my family fought for. When Diana's HOA flooded my property to stop me, they didn't expect a precise counterattack that would crush their corrupt plans, leaving them begging for mercy. This isn't revenge. It's a lesson in stopping bullies, and its impact still echoes. Maple Grove Ranch was perfect. An old farmhouse, fertile fields, a pond with hills around it. My wife Mary, a retired military nurse, fixed up the garden while I planned horse stables for therapy. Veterans needed this. Work, community, peace. I'd seen war's pain and knew what helped. My neighbor Jim Larson liked my plans for counseling rooms, workshops, and stables for 12 therapy horses. Be careful, he warned. Silver Pines HOA causes trouble beyond their land. I nodded. My permits were solid. My border collie Rusty, saved from a shelter, played nearby, ready for the therapy program. 3 days later, trouble came. Diana, 60, in fancy shoes, left a notice saying to stop stable construction for looks. I ignored it and kept working. At their meeting, she called my ranch a threat to home values, even though it wasn't in their HOA. Soon, Edward Grant, the HOA's grumpy vice president, took photos from the road. A letter ordered me to stop building. Mary laughed. Playground bullies with fancier toys. I smiled. I've faced worse than suburban bosses. Spring rains tested my drainage system, planned carefully. One evening, Mary saw 3 people by our pond, engineer Henry Walsh and 2 others messing with Silver Pines drainage pipes. Jim said, "They're sending water to your land." 3 days later, a big rain hit. My fields turned into lakes, the stable's foundation a muddy mess. Another storm made it worse. I took photos, measured water flow, and proved it was sabotage. Diana's reason? Clara Evans, a new Silver Pines resident and ex-Marine, told me Diana, a failed real estate agent from 2008, used her HOA power to get a deal with peak luxury developments. My ranch blocked their golf course and spa, which would earn Diana millions as their agent. She wasn't just mean, she was desperate to look important again. I politely asked the HOA to check their drainage. Diana laughed at their office. Natural flooding, General. You should have hired better engineers. Her mocking tone made me stronger. An engineer's report showed the water was sent on purpose. At the next HOA meeting, I showed photos, data, and Colorado laws. Diana and Edward made fun of me. Military life messed up your thinking, Edward sneered. Diana added, sad when old folks get confused. Their laughter hurt, but I stayed calm, leaving with a quiet, "You've picked the wrong fight." On my porch, Mary asked, "What's next?" I called David Mitchell, a retired JAG colonel turned lawyer. At a diner, I said, "This isn't about me, it's about veterans needing the center." He nodded. "Let's build a team." Cars from out of state arrived my old unit. Our barn became a command center with maps and photos. David filed legal papers. Sarah Coleman, an ex-intelligence officer and journalist, found proof, and Clara shared HOA secrets. 3 steps, I told Jim, showing a plan, gather evidence, apply pressure, strike back. David listed HOA wrongs, acting outside their rules, damaging property. Sarah found Diana's water law violations and Edward's threats to residents. Clara leaked HOA notes showing they targeted me before I started building. They think they're unbeatable, I said. Big mistake. I set up military-grade cameras. 3 nights later, they caught Henry and 2 others flooding my land at 2 a.m. Make it look like an accident, Henry laughed. Their water hurt Rusty, a therapy horse. They crossed a line, I told Mary, calling David. Step 2. David contacted the EPA's Thomas Reed, who owed me a favor from Iraq. Sarah's article, Corruption in Silver Pines, exposed HOA abuses, sparking anger. David's 70-page lawsuit listed sabotage and stolen money. Thomas and Inspector Ellen Ortiz found years of fake water reports and illegal drainage changes. Silver Pines residents split. Jim backed Diana's victim story, but others supported me. Diana's social media posts about dangerous veterans failed when Clara leaked her email planning media lies. Councilman George Baxter, in Diana's pocket, pushed fake reviews. Edward used a vague deed to stop my permits. Black SUVs from Summit Security scared my contractors, who quit. Amateur tricks, Mary said. I agreed. Fear's their weapon. We'll use truth. The breaking point came when veterans visited. Summit guards provoked Michael Caine, a Marine with PTSD, causing a flashback. I yelled, "Stand down," stopping a guard's pepper spray. "You're hurting a veteran." The guards ran. Diana's edited video made Michael look bad, pausing my project. Mary worried. They're winning. I smiled. They've gone too far. Step 3, I told Sarah. Activate Colonel Larson. Our basement became a strategy room with maps and red strings. By midnight, 5 ex-officers planned our attack. Colonel Emily Larson, 58, worked from D.C. Senator Paul Carter, a former soldier I led, flagged EPA violations. Agent Mark Thompson found Diana stole $300,000 and Edward charged fake $5,000 fees. Unedited video of Michael's incident went viral, with veterans groups furious. The EPA stopped Silver Pines operations. Prosecutors filed theft charges. At Silver Pines' emergency meeting, Diana demanded $1,000 per household for legal defense. Clara stood, revealing me, General Clayton, Joint Special Operations, not just a farmer. Residents gasped. Edward paled. Diana sneered, I don't care who he is. Chaos broke out, residents demanding truth. Diana played a fake clip of me threatening her. I showed the real audio. I'll use legal ways to protect this project. Her lies fell apart. A resident tore his ballot, chanting my name. The crowd voted out Diana's board. Henry helped, exposing years of fraud. Diana and Edward, denied bail, faced jail. Judge Thomas Hayes, ex-JAG, slammed their corruption. The HOA, led by Clara, reformed with audits and term limits. My permits came back, and the center opened a year later, fields green, rusty healed. Veterans like Jason Carter thrived, teaching kids with PTSD. At the new wing's opening, I said, we fought for those who can't. Mary whispered, we won peace. Silver Pines, under Clara, became a fair HOA. Diana worked at a veteran center, fitting justice. Maple Grove Ranch proved, cross a general, and you face a legacy stronger than your tricks.